Lady will suspend momentarily. Members, it's not a kindergarten class. I look up and I see full-grown adults, many of you senior citizens, and you're clearly trying to make noise like a young child might when they're having to sit in a classroom and listen. So please, you're not doing anything by making these noises. And the Sergeant at Arms sees the lady who just was making the noise. The Sergeant at Arms has the chair's direction to go ahead and remove the lady. Again, folks, please, we're allowing folks on both sides of this issue to speak.
On the issue at hand. Because the blood of my ancestors.
Mr. Speaker.
1 second, Representative Cunningham. For what purpose is the lady from New Hanover, Representative Butler?
I feel like we're getting into personal territory and maligning the character of the members of this body.
I think the lady is speaking to the personal attacks that she received from folks outside of this body, unless I misheard what she said. And the lady is correct that it's not appropriate to talk about personal attacks of members of the body. Again, I understand her to be saying some personal things that she received from outside.
Well, Mr. Speaker, in that case, I would move the previous question.
Okay. Lady's not recognized for motion. Representative Cunningham, lady continues to have the floor.
As you can see, black people are finally starting to wake up, but they're receiving opposition coming from all sides. They got it coming from black folks that look like me, that's used to the old way of doing things. They're used to taking care of everybody else but themselves. We're used to caring about everybody else but ourselves. We're used to fighting for our stuff and then allowing them to turn our stuff into POC, people of color. People that are coming here benefiting from the things that our grandparents fought for, our parents struggled for. Our parents got dogs sicked on them. It was all kinds, churches bombed. There was all kinds of stuff that went on. The situation with Ruby Bridges as a baby. So people say, oh, that was 100 years ago. No, it wasn't. Like, we went through a heroin holocaust, a crack holocaust, so many different things, and other groups wasn't here. They came here when the coast was clear. And they're able to come here now under the guise of POC and get the benefits that's supposed to be specifically for the Negro people. All the things that we fought for, we was the ones on those plantations. We was the ones going through, I can't even say it right now, eminent domain, right? When they was taking our lands, right? We was the ones going through black codes, Jim Crow, fleeing the South up to the North, running up to the North to get some form of prosperity, only to have it taken away when a lot of the jobs, factory jobs, was taken out in the 60s. So we saw what Detroit turned to, Milwaukee turned into, St. Louis turned into, Camden, New Jersey turned into. We saw it, right? We saw what happened. So we fought in every war. Like, we are more American than anybody because we was here from the foundational. Nobody is more American than foundational black Americans or ADOS Americans. Nobody. So this woman, Representative Carla D. Cunningham, she spoke up. She spoke up, and finally there's somebody that's in position, right? Elected official has the cojones to speak up and say something and says, listen, think this here, man, right? I'm speaking up for my people, and she's getting opposition. People are coming after her. She's getting threats. She's getting all kinds of different things. People being very disrespectful. But this is what she said. Check it out.
Get the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today is a new day, but I'd like to take a moment to reintroduce myself to each of you. I am ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves. I am a black American, and I am an American. Migration in the past was not projected to be as it is today. We must establish new rules to address a distinct type of migration that we are facing in our country, state, and cities. It's time to turn the conveyor belt off and adopt a global migration suitable for the times that we're in. And that is not destabilizing our communities. A large number of people entering a country can change it forever. In conclusion, let me share with you all what happens when a woman lawmaker like myself choose to move differently. Yes, I was degraded for my vote. Yes, I was called racist for my vote. And yes, I was said I was trash. However, I figured it out. They want me to stop elevating my ancestors' history. They want me to be silent in my country. They want me to line up behind their priorities while my people and communities continue to struggle in our country. Mr. Speaker.
Lady will suspend momentarily. Members, it's not a kindergarten class. I look up and I see full-grown adults, many of you senior citizens, and you're clearly trying to make noise like a young child might when they're having to sit in a classroom and listen. So please, you're not doing anything by making these noises. And the Sergeant at Arms sees the lady who just was making the noise. The Sergeant at Arms has the chair's direction to go ahead and remove the lady. Again, folks, please, we're allowing folks on both sides of this issue to speak. If you want to come down here and debate, go run for public office. Thank you. Lady continues to have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I was saying, they want me to line up behind their priorities while my people and communities continue to struggle in our country. Is this not your country? This is my country. With the good and the not so good, this is my country, 'tis of thee. Now, if you want to adapt to my country, not isolate yourself and come here legally, I welcome you. But today, I am telling you, I am not going to be silenced by those who disagree with my ideology on the issue at hand. Because the blood of my ancestors.
Mr. Speaker.
1 second, Representative Cunningham. For what purpose is the lady from New Hanover, Representative Butler?
I feel like we're getting into personal territory and maligning the character of the members of this body.
I think the lady is speaking to the personal attacks that she received from folks outside of this body, unless I misheard what she said. And the lady is correct that it's not appropriate to talk about personal attacks of members of the body. Again, I understand her to be saying some personal things that she received from outside.
Well, Mr. Speaker, in that case, I would move the previous question.
Okay. Lady's not recognized for motion. Representative Cunningham, lady continues to have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. See, it was my ancestors who came over as slaves, built this country with a strain on their backs. They sweat pouring from their bodies in the rice fields, the cotton fields, and the tobacco farms for this country. Lived as servants and was the footstool, I said the footstool, for far too many feet to step on. So today, if you ask me to line up behind another group of people to raise awareness about their plight, I unapologetically say no. Mr. Speaker and colleagues, please accept my remarks. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And as this woman was saying, it was her people. It was her people that worked in them rice plantations, them cotton fields, them tobacco fields. It was her people that went through the Elaine massacre, right? The Devil's Punch Bowl, all kinds of things, right? Rosewood, Tulsa, the Wilmington riots. It was our people. I mean, it was our people from 1865 all the way up into 1970. There was over 4,000 recorded lynchings. That's our people, right? And there's so many cold cases. So, and there's a debt that's old that still hasn't been repaired. There hasn't been any form of recompense of things that happened to our people here in this country. And we're still going through it. We represent 53% of all wrongful incarcerations and exonerations in the United States of America because our skin has been our sin for so long. For so long. The way our image has been portrayed to the world. There's a form of there has to be a form of recompense. There's a debt that's owed. And now you're telling us to come here. Now you're telling us to fight for other groups to come here that you're trying to replace us with. You think we're stupid? You're trying to replace us with. You're creating a larger voting block right in front of our face. And you're creating sanctuary cities and you're throwing them into our cities. Cities that's been destroyed by the crack era, the heroin era, where the government has admitted to partaking in it. And bringing the property value down of our communities. We went through We went through the Unfair Housing Act. We went through not being able to get proper insurance to receive equity where our grandfathers could build wealth to pass down generational wealth. We still never recovered from these things. And not to count the psychological effect that things happen when you condition our people to operate and believe that there's something that they're not. We got our kids coming around calling themselves real N-words and bad B's and praying to the Most High, waiting for the sky to open up to come save you instead of you using the information to save yourself. While other groups are saying, okay, while you waiting on the Most High, we just going to come in and buy that building. We're going to come in and buy up all this property. We're going to come into your schools, and in the next 10 years, we're going to push you out. We're going to make the prices so high that you can't afford to live in it. But you still got the Bible, though. That's what they're doing, and making you believe that, conditioning you to believe that when you're going to get yours, you're milk and honey when you die. Ain't none of y'all ever die and come back and say, well, we can tell you what went on over there on the other side. You just believe people's word. No, you're supposed to take that word and use it to elevate yourself and your people and the surroundings around you, right? Not be taken advantage of with it. And that's what they condition our brains to do. So we still never recovered from this. And that's why you're watching these other groups within 10 years, they damn near own your community. And we got to do better. And I'm happy for this woman having a voice to speak up and to speak out loud and proud, right? And I hope that this becomes infectious, that this begins to spread real fast, right, throughout the body of Foundational ADOS America. I want this to spread. I want this consciousness and this talking point to spread. We have to spread this way of thinking, right? And because they condition us to believe for us to talk this way, that we're being selfish, we're being xenophobic, we're being all these things because now we're saying that we're not operating through people of color. What's supposed to be for us is specifically for us. We're no longer denigrating the memories of our ancestors and allowing people to just step on our ancestors and come here and say that we don't have no culture, right? We have a culture, and our culture is what you're benefiting from. And now we're snatching the rug out from under you and saying, listen, we need to focus on ourselves right now. We need to get our communities that we've been gentrified out of right now. We are in a crisis right now, right? The red light is on, and we got work to do. Because what is Black Philadelphia, Black Memphis, Black Cincinnati, Cleveland, all these cities, Chicago, right? Atlanta, Newark, New Jersey, Brooklyn, what are they going to look like by 2035 if we keep carrying on in the manner in which we're carrying on? Huh? It's time to sound the alarm. We got to sound the alarm, and we got to start focusing on ourselves. Show me anywhere where you see Latinos talk about Black and brown. No, they focus on their issues for their community only, as they should. We're the only one talking Black and brown because they set it up through the Democratic Party that the funding only comes when you're going with their narrative. That's when there is no funding if you're only talking about specifically for your group. But if you're talking about POC, Black and brown, now we have funding for you because we're going to only give you funding if you breed yourself out of your own community. If you push yourself out your own community, and you allow us to replace you as a voting block. Now we got money for you, but if you're standing up for yourself, we have nothing for you. We have nothing for you, and we're going to ostracize you and replace you with somebody else, and that's what they're doing. So y'all better wake up, man. But I'm going to cut this video short here. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.